Namo Buddhaya. The large sutra on perfect wisdom, the Satasahasrika Prajnaparamita Sutram, the chapter 19, Surpassing. The progress which consists in going forth. Why the great vehicle is so called? Subhuti. The great vehicle is called a great vehicle, surpassing the world with its gods, men and asuras. That vehicle will go forth. That is why it is called a great vehicle. It is like space. As in space, so in this vehicle there is room for countless beings. In this way, the great vehicle of the Bodhisattvas, the great beings. Just as one can see no coming, going, or abiding of space, so one cannot get at the coming, going, or abiding of this great vehicle. Just as one cannot get at the beginning of space, or its end, or its middle, on account of the sameness of the three periods of time, so also with the great vehicle. That is why one speaks of a great vehicle. The Lord. So it is, Subhuti. This great vehicle of the Bodhisattva, the great being, consists in 6 perfections, and in allDharani-doors, all concentration doors, the 20 kinds of emptiness, the applications of mindfulness, etc., to the 18 special Buddhadharmas. The program of going forth. Going forth to the highest possible state, Shariputra. When again Subhuti has said, surpassing the world with its gods, men, and Asuras, and vehicle will go forth, that vehicle will go forth. What then is the world with its gods, men, and Asuras? The world of sense desire, the world of form, the formless world. If the world of sense desire, the world of form, or the formless world were suchness, not falseness, unaltered suchness, if they were the unperverted, truly real, true reality, that which is as it really is, the permanent, stable, eternal, not liable to reversal, existence and not non-existence, then that great vehicle would not go forth after having surpassed the world with its gods, men, and asuras. But because the world of sense desire, the world of form, and the formless world have been constructed by thought, fabricated from fictions, and faint because they are not as reality really is, but entirely impermanent, unstable, not eternal, liable to reversal and non-existence. Therefore, this great vehicle will go forth after having surpassed the world with its gods, men, and asuras. And this holds good not only to the triple world, but the same formula should be applied to the skandhas, the 20 kinds of emptiness, the dharani elements, such as the reality limit, the unthinkable element, etc., to the applications of mindfulness, etc., to Buddhadharmas. The going forth, which consists in forsaking the stages, the fruits of a holy life, from strong winner to Buddha, the world with its gods, men, and asuras. The going forth, which leads to achievement. And the thoughts which a Bodhisattva produces from the first thought of enlightenment up to the arrival and the 2 rays of enlightenment, if the adamantine cognition were an existence and non-existent, then the Bodhisattva would not, having known all defilements and their residues as non-existence, reach the cognition of the all-knowing, which is furnished with the best of all modes. But he reaches it because the adamantine cognition is non-existent and not an-existent. If the 32 marks of a Superman which the Tathagata possesses were existent and non-existent, then the Tathagata would not outshine the world with its god, men, and asuras with his splendor and majesty. But he outshines it because the 32 marks are non-existent and non-existent. And the same applies to the light with which he irradiates countless world systems. If the Tathagata's voice, which has 60 special qualities, were inexistent and not non-existent, then the Tathagata would not make his voice resound through countless world systems in the 10 directions, but he makes it resound because it is non-existent and not inexistent. If the Tathagata's wheel of Dharma with its 3 revolutions and its 12 spokes were inexistent and non-existent, then the Tathagata would not have turned this wheel of Dharma, which cannot with justice be turned by any recluse, Brahmin, God, Mara, Brahma, or anywhere else in the world, but he has turned it because it is non-existent and not inexistent. If the beings for whose sake the Tathagata has turned the wheel of Dharma were existent and not non-existent, then surely he would not have led those beings to nirvana in the realm of nirvana, which leaves nothing behind. But because the beings for whose sake the Tathagata has turned the wheel of Dharma are non-existent and not existence, therefore beings have been led to nirvana and being led to nirvana and will be led to nirvana. Sameness. Shariputra. As Subhuti, you have said, the same as space is this vehicle, so it is. The same as space is the great vehicle. For these are the features which they have in common. The 10 directions are inconceivable of them. They are not longer short, round, or square, even or uneven. Not blue, yellow, red, white, crimson, or crystalline. Not past, future, present. No decrease, increase, all laws can be conceived of them. No defilement or purification. No production, stop, instability, or alteration of stability. They are not wholesome, unwholesome, or indeterminate. They are not seen, heard, known, or discerned. They are not cognizable or uncognizable, not discernible or comprehensible, not to be realized, forsaken, or developed, not karma results or liable to lead to karma results. They are not included in the world of sense desire, the world of form, or the formless world. They are not with or without greed, with or without hate, with or without delusion. In them there is no first thought of enlightenment, no second, etc., to no 10th. None of the stages and none of the fruits. They are not material or immaterial, definable or undefinable, resistant or non-resistant, conjoined or disjoined, not permanent or impermanent, at ease or ill, self or not self, lovely or repulsive, empty or not empty, with sign or signless, with wish or wishless, come on, come, isolated or unisolated, and in both of them there is no light or darkness, both cannot be seized or apprehended, and in both of them there is no utterance or non-utterance. In these ways is the great vehicle the same as space, the activity for the will of beings. Again, as Subhuti, you have said, as in space, so in this vehicle there is room for immeasurable and incalculable, the innumerable beings. So it is. And why? Because from the non-beingness of beings should be the non-beingness of space being knows. And from the non-beingness of space should be non-beingness of the great vehicle be known. In this way, there is in this great vehicle room for immeasurable, incalculable, and innumerable beings. And why? Because what the beings are, and what space is, and what the great vehicle is, all that is not got at. Moreover, from the non-beingness of beings should be the non-beingness of space be known. From the non-beingness of space should be non-beingness of the great vehicle be known. From the non-beingness of great vehicle should be the non-beingness of the immeasurable, the incalculable, the innumerable be known. And why? Because what the beings are, and what space is, and what the great vehicle is, and what is the immeasurable, the incalculable, the innumerable, all that is not got at. Moreover, from the non-beingness of beings should be non-beingness of space be known. From the non-beingness of space should be the non-beingness of great vehicle be known. From the non-beingness of the great vehicle should be the non-beingness of the unconditioned be known. From the non-beingness of the unconditioned should be non-beingness of the unmeasurable, the incalculable, the innumerable be known. From the non-beingness of the immeasurable and incalculable, the innumerable should be the non-beingness of all dharmas be known. And why? Because what the beings are, and what the Tathagata is, and what space is, what the great vehicle is, and what the unconditioned is, and what is the immeasurable, the incalculable, innumerable, and what all dharmas are, all these are not got at. Moreover, from the non-beingness of self and beings should be known the non-beingness of being, soul, person, personality, individual, man, youth, doer, feeler, begetter, and of one who sees. From their non-beingness should be known the non-beingness of the reality limit and of their unthinkable element. From their non-beingness should be the non-beingness of the immeasurable, the incalculable, the innumerable be known. From their non-beingness should be the non-beingness of all dharmas be known. And why? Because now none of these is God and the same should be done with the skandhas, etc., the 6 perfections, the 20 kinds of emptiness, the applications of mindfulness, etc., to Buddhadharmas, the stages, fruits, etc., to the knowledge of all modes. Just as in the nirvana element there is room for countless beings, so also is the great vehicle. It is in the sense that in this great vehicle, as in space, there is room for immeasurable, incalculable, and innumerable beings. The absence of exertion. Again, as Buddha has said, of this great vehicle no arrival, departure, or abiding can be seen, so it is. And why? Because dharmas do not move about, they do not go anywhere, do not come from anywhere, do not abide anywhere, because the essential, original, natural form, etc., does not come from anywhere, nor go to anywhere, nor abide anywhere. And that is true of all dharmas. Beyond the extremes. Again, as Buddha said, of this great vehicle, no initial limit is guarded, no final limit, no middle. Self-identical in the 3 periods of time is that great vehicle. That is why it is called the great vehicle. So it is, and why? Because the past period of time is empty of the past period of time, the future empty of future, the present of the present. The sameness of the 3 periods of time is empty of the sameness of the 3 periods of time. The great vehicle is empty of the great vehicle, the Bodhisattva empty of the Bodhisattva, but emptiness is not 1, not 2, not 3, etc., to not 10. That is why, owing to the sameness of the 3 periods of time, this vehicle of the Bodhisattva, the great being, is self-identical, but therein one cannot apprehend the same or not the same. Greed or dispassion, hate or its absence, delusion or its absence, conceit or its absence, the wholesome or unwholesome, what has unfloats or what has none, what has blemish or what has none, defilement or non-defilement, extinction or non-extinction of defilement, the worldly or the supramundane, defiling or purification, samsara or nirvana, permanence or impermanence, ease or ill, self or not self, calm or uncalm, the world of sense desire or the transcendent of the world of sense desire, the world of form or is transcendent, the formless world or is transcendent. And why? Because the own being of all that cannot be apprehended, past form, etc., is empty of past form, etc., and so is future and present form, etc. And why? In emptiness, one cannot get at past, future, or present form, etc. The very emptiness, however empty, cannot be got at in emptiness, how much less past, future, and present form, etc. One cannot get at the initial limit of the perfection of given, etc., nor at its final limit, nor can one get at it in the present owing to the sameness of the periods of time, nor can one get at the past, future, or present period of time in the sameness of the periods of time. The very sameness even cannot be got at in the sameness. How again could one in sameness get at the past, future, present perfection of given, etc.? And what is true of the perfections that holds good also of the applications of mindfulness, etc., to the Buddhadharmas. Moreover, the common people cannot be got at in their initial limit, their final limit, or in the present owing to the sameness of the periods of time. And why? On account of that fact that no beings can be got at. And that is equally true of disciples, particularly Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and Tathagatas. It is thus that the Bodhisattva, who has stood firm in perfect wisdom and has trained himself in the 3 periods of time, should fulfill the knowledge of all modes. This is of the Bodhisattva, the great vehicle. On account of the sameness of the 3 periods of time, having stood firmly therein, the Bodhisattva surpassing the world with its godsmen and asuras will go forth to the knowledge of all modes. Attainment, going forth to attainment. The Bodhisattva goes forth to attainment, Subhuti. Well said, O Lord, well has the Lord taught this great vehicle of the Bodhisattva, the great beings. In the past period, the Bodhisattvas who have trained in this great vehicle have reached the knowledge of all modes. Future Bodhisattvas also, by training in this great vehicle will reach the knowledge of all modes. And those Bodhisattvas also who in this world, in all the 10 directions are present in innumerable world systems, they haven't trained in this great vehicle to reach the knowledge of all modes. This, therefore, is the great vehicle of the Bodhisattvas, the great beings, owing to the fact that they are the same in the 3 periods of time, the Lord. So it is, Subhuti, having trained in this great vehicle, past, future, and present, Bodhisattvas have reached the knowledge of all modes, will reach it, do reach it. This is the end of the 19th chapter of the large Sutra on Perfect Wisdom, the Satasahasrika Prajnaparamita Sutram.